In Game of Thrones, reality is interlaced with myths and legends. Made up of sporadic villages, mountainous regions, mysterious lands of cold and ice to the north, and warm and exotic to the south. The Game of Thrones cast and crew filmed simultaneously in Belfast and Croatia, while a small third of the crew prepared a week-long shoot at a historical place in Seville, Spain, while yet another group comprised of production designers and set builders worked on the construction of a small fishing village near a quarry in Northern Ireland. The main headquarters for production is at the Paint Hall Studios in Belfast, Northern Ireland, where most of the interior sets are located, such as the Red Keep sets, the Iron Throne and the Great Sept of Baelor. The majority of on-location shooting also occurs in Northern Ireland, such as Castle Black, which was built as a fully realised set in the abandoned quarry a few minutes' drive north of Belfast. The set included a working lift and castle, making it one of the show's most successful sets because of its 360 degrees lived-in quality. For Game of Thrones supervising art director Paul Inglis, the culture of the Seven Kingdoms comes to life slowly through the reams of research and hundreds of conceptual drawings. The art directors, assistant art directors and draftsmen create the visual style of the set on paper, which is sent off to every department to communicate the style which the crew are trying to achieve. Every season, Game of Thrones manages to top itself with an increasingly breathtaking battle sequence. Season 5 included a stunning showdown with the White Walkers in Hardhome, and the sequence definitely didn't disappoint. The Hardhome battle was a visual effects marvel and one of the highlights of the season. Hardhome was built as a fully realised set at the Magaramon Quarry in Northern Ireland. This is in the same area where the Castle Black set was constructed, but the Hardhome set being 60 or 70 times larger in comparison. Not only were the buildings real, but the entire wood log palisade wall as well. As well as this, the 20-minute sequence took an entire month to shoot. However, Magaramon was not the first choice for Hardhome when production started. The crew originally started out in Iceland, but after consideration they realised that the set they had imagined when writing the sequence was far too extensive for production. The production team had a template of what they wanted Hardhome to look like, and instead would shoot backdrops in Iceland and use them in post-production to extend the set. The scale of the fence in Hardhome is a real credit to the show's art department. The team ended up constructing a real stockade fence, fixed to a movable ramp that could get pushed down and back up again. The fence was 40 feet long and weighed 12 tons, meaning that it takes a lot to slow it down when it falls. Throughout the Hardhome sequence, the viewers can really sense the desperation of the characters once you see the conditions that they are in, and the set really reinforces that distress. Her is a film about a man falling in love with his artificial intelligence.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh. Hi.
Filmed in Los Angeles
Hi.
and Shanghai, the use of the architecture of both cities construct a world of their own. Director Spike Jonze and production designer KK Barrett chose not to approach the film from a design or architectural perspective, but rather they were interested in reflecting the emotional qualities of the protagonist, Theodore, played by Joaquin Phoenix, through the production design. The film takes place mostly away from street level, in a giant city that is an amalgamation of Los Angeles and Shanghai, merging the sprawl of one city with the pedestrian presence of another. The film was shot in both places, incorporating elements of each metropolis. The set for Theodore's apartment was a blank slate. The space originally was cold and architecturally uninspired, but Barrett found the vacant site in Los Angeles and transformed it. The set was made up from empty white walls, but rather than repaint the walls, Barrett added pieces of transparent coloured plexiglass that cast light on the room and changed its tone in different times of the day. Gels were placed on the windows so that all the light that came in was a beautiful red glow. Barrett chose his space for the views of downtown, suggesting density to the north, and to the west they added a few buildings in post-production to make it consistent with their Shanghai exteriors. When collaged together, they completed the dense feel of a new vertical growth. With the interior design of the apartment, the focus was to bring the outside city in and push light towards Theodore. The production team even covered the existing upper daylight panels above the windows, in an effort to concentrate the view into a band around the protagonist. The duo behind Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, helmed the CG animated adventure about a construction worker with the habit of using the word awesome, discovering he has the ability to change the world. While the Lego Movie's graphics were made by using a ton of CGI, the hit movie also occasionally built its set using a boatload of actual Lego, approximately 4 million to be exact. The production designers used free software Lego Digital Designer and a lot of patience to add in those 12 million additional bricks. With a unique blend of CG animation and actual Lego sets, the final look of the Lego Movie has a surprising visual depth. It almost appears as if someone painstakingly animated each and every movement through stop motion. That's because the animators went to great lengths to ensure that they included every aspect of real Lego pieces when creating their characters. In order to achieve that played-with look for the protagonist Emmett and the other 182 unique minifigures that appear in the film, animators observed the physical models under microscopes to get every detail right. Chris McKay's background in stop-motion animation and his skills as a filmmaker has a tremendous effect on the Lego Movie. On top of that, the production team had to make sure everything was interpreted into Lego. They researched a lot of different Lego websites, Lego build styles, and learnt a lot of Lego acronyms. In a way, this honoured some of the amazing work that is created by Lego fans around the world. They also researched how Lego bricks age over time, including photographing their own childhood toys and taking a trip to Legoland to see how large-scale models weather in the outdoors. Lego were very involved with the visual design of the movie. Animal Logic and Lego produced many design iterations of key characters and set pieces called for in the script. Lego's designs were often in the form of actual models, with the thought and sophistication of the real brick build style. Most of the sets were designed and built as the production team was still developing the story. For instance, the Old West set would have a fair amount of screen time, so they wanted to make the location seem ramshackle and organic. The freeway location had a design that lent itself to repetition, so they only built a small section of the elevated freeway and shot the bike chase on the small section, looping the action and swapping out background signage to create the impression that the location was larger than it actually was. The Cloud Cuckoo Land and Octon Tower exteriors were originally conceived as complex large-scale builds, but as various deadlines loomed, the crew realised it would be funnier, quicker and more creative to build them as micro-scale sets. President Business's office was meant to be clean, sterile, but also a little bit scary, so the set was built from whites, greys and black bricks, accented with the red feature walls. They wanted downtown Bricksburg to be bland and repetitive, except for the advertising, so the architecture was all whites, blues and greys, and the billboards were all primary colours.